Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Shirley Ayoko-Botry, has called for the compilation of a new foreign policy document for Ghana. According to her, such a document is necessary to help Ghanaians better understand Ghana's foreign policy and the operations of the Foreign Ministry. The minister was speaking at the first public lecture organized by the Council on Foreign Affairs Ghana with the British diplomat and politician Baroness Valerie Ann Amos on Britain's exit from the European Union and its possible effects on the African continent. The lecture, which was themed, "Does the Retreat from Multilateralism Create New Opportunities for the African Continent?" addressed the implication for Africa should Britain withdraw from the European Union.
Today, if you ask the ordinary Ghanaian what Ghana's foreign policy, in fact, if you even ask the ordinary Ghanaian whether the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is relevant, they begin to wonder what really we do. Some will tell you that all they see us doing is attending functions and so on and so forth. But there's so much that we do contribute to the development of this nation. And I believe that if we have a foreign policy that trickles down in terms of being understood by the ordinary man on the street, they will be able to understand what we do and how we contribute.
President of the Council, Ambassador Daniel Osei, said the focus of the Council on Foreign Relations Ghana was to build a bridge between foreign policy and national policy.
Recently, you must have followed very actively the debate on security in this country and political violence. But in all that discussion, I noticed that very little was said or has been said about the importance of foreign policy to Ghana's own national security. And indeed, a lot of the factors that will determine our security will be played outside of Ghana. And so we are hoping that as part of the public engagement, we will encourage the public to understand the dynamics of foreign policy or national policy.
British diplomat and politician Baroness Valerie Ann Amos, in her presentation at the first public lecture, said Britain's exit from the European Union will definitely have some impact on development on the African continent. According to her, Britain has not been a first world power for a long time, despite its permanent membership at the United Nations Security Council, stating that trade relations between both countries will remain the same.
You can learn from our mistakes. Remember to put the people first. Tackling domestic challenges is key. That gives you the consensus you need to continue to play a significant role in global affairs.
She indicated specifically that China has become the major trading partner of Ghana and no longer Britain. According to her, from a less than $100 million trade volume between Ghana and China in the year 2000, trade volume between both nations had increased to $6.2 billion in 2017, saying Britain cannot compete. But she had a word of advice for African leaders.
There have been a lot of criticisms of Chinese investments on the African continent, which I recognize. My issue is about how the contracts with the Chinese government and Chinese business have been put together. My worry is that there has been insufficient attention to the details of those contracts, insufficient investment in getting the right kind of expertise to guide the putting together of those contracts.
Meanwhile, thousands of people have been marching in central London to call for another EU referendum.